Right? So, Seth, what's up, man? Good morning, man.
Morning.
All right.
And good morning to all of our viewers.
Nice, man.
So this morning,
we're talking about fasting. I brought it up.
About fasting.
Yes.
Of course, fasting is where you abstain from consuming foods with calories. Right. I saw something that was published by the American Heart Association.
Okay.
So let me get permission to share the screen here because I want to show what
permission
was done.
to share the screen, gentlemen.
This, they had a conference and they shared some information based on a study that was conducted, but it was a private study. And I want to show what the result. So just waiting on permission here to share the screen. All right.
Director, we need permission to mash up the place here.
All right. So,
yeah.
As you can see here.
But I'm not seeing.
So this is by the American. All right. This is by the American Heart Association. Right. They were having their conference, right, scientific conference and meetings for 2024. It says 8-hour time restricted eating linked to a 91% higher risk of cardiovascular death. Right? Now, that can be alarming for some people, right? Especially when you read it. And most people, usually base things off of headings and don't really go much into details.
Into the article, correct.
Yeah, so you already hear people starting on many news networks around the world, major news networks around the world started pushing that intermittent fasting increases your chances of dying by 91%. Right? Which, if you go in a little further and we start to, take a look at what they actually say here, especially here, let me highlight it so people can read it. It says, as noted in all American Heart Association scientific meetings, news releases, research abstracts are considered preliminary until published in a peer-reviewed scientific paper, meaning this has not been peer-reviewed. Right. You go on further and you look at the highlights. It was with over 20,000 adults that participated in the study over a period of time from 2003 to 2018. And it was self-reported, right? Self-reported meaning you're just filling out a questionnaire stating this is what you consume on the average day or whatnot, all right? Which, of course, give rise to a lot of errors taking place. The other thing is the diets weren't controlled, meaning that people could have been eating anything that they wanted to eat, and they were given the estimated time periods at which they were fasting for during those years. All right. Other thing was causes of death. Of death were just that the people died, not specific as to what they died from. Some of the people that would have died could have been accidents, could have been murder victims, could have had other health issues that contributed to their deaths. So I have an issue when organizations use studies like these. I would not have even used something like this, especially in a conference, right? And that's one of the problems when you have these type of non-profit organizations, because even at the bottom, let me close it, they even stated that they will finance, they list their conflicts of interest by institutions and corporations and medical device corporations that have gain to make, right? So when we see things like this, it can negatively influence one's belief, because most people don't go into an article, don't look for the actual research paper to see what type of research was really done. So one might just view that and think, okay, if you fast, then it's going to cause some problems, right? When that is not the case. But I want to draw attention to something else. There are other studies that have been done, right? And that's actually peer-reviewed, right? And have been published on PubMed and many other medical journals, showing that people get varying results with regards to fasting. And the major factor is most people that do fast do not fast correctly. Because remember, fasting is going for a period of time without consuming, which means you have to rely on nutrients that your body would have stored, have in stock, and then you have to rely on, you know, what you consume when you break the fast in order to get these health benefits.
And let me just,
many people.
Let me just stick my nose in this here, which is, you know, this always amuses me, right? I'm a Catholic, right? So we have Lent, where Catholics supposedly fast, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the different types of fast. So I've always said Catholics are really fast.
Not like Muslims for Ramadan and Hindus and other religions. Because we will, and here where they're fasting from. Well, I ain't eating meat.
Right. So
hold on,
a fast has to be...
Hold on. I ain't eating meat. I just telling you, you know, I ain't drinking alcohol. I'm doing everything else. But I ain't drinking alcohol. I eating food, but I ain't eating meat. I eat fish. I mean, a fast is...
Right.
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
That's not a fast. That's actually not a fast. A fast has to be when you restrict calories, so you're not consuming calories.
Right.
Right? So by cutting out one macro group and then over-consuming of another, right? That's not a fast. You're still consuming.
You're still consuming.
Right? So,
yeah.
So many people aren't fasting. They may be abstaining from a particular food source.
Abstention and fasting is two different things. Yeah.
So that might be abstinence, but that isn't a fast. I don't think a lot of people fast correctly, and their concept of fasting is off. So you're abstaining from meat and you're going to consume a whole set of sugar. Mind you, most people don't know the full definition of sugar. So many people believe just once it's sweet tasting it is sugar. So I'm abstaining from sweet tasting stuff, but I'm eating a lot of carbohydrates. Which the Greek word for carbohydrates is a synonym for saccharide, which comes from the Greek word saccharon, which means sugar. Right? So carbohydrates is sugar. So many people are saying they're abstaining from sugar while they eat more sugar. But in their mind, this is a complex sugar, and therefore it is fine. No, it's not. It's still sugar.
Still sugar,
right?
Yeah.
So it may not spike your blood sugar now, but it's going to spike it later.
Later,
but
eventually,
people don't know what sugar is. So many people are fasting and they're doing it inaccurately. So you will get people that even fasting and completely abstaining from sugar, from carbs, they might not be consuming anything. But then some would get an increase in their blood sugar levels during that time frame. Now, keep in mind, fasting is when you are not consuming things with calories. Does not mean you need to abstain from minerals.
Okay.
So this is where salt comes in now, because when you are fasting, you have a higher excretion of sodium of the body. You lose a lot of your salt. Now, what the data shows is if your salt consumption levels drop too low, right, that increases your risk of insulin resistance. In other words, you have an increased risk of ending up diabetic.
Yeah.
Right? So your blood sugar can increase because when it activates what they call the sympathetic nervous system, that causes your liver to produce more sugar. Right? It manufactures sugar, and therefore you can have an increase in blood sugar level. So in long and short of the story, a lot of people are fasting out of ignorance, and what they're doing can be counterproductive to their body because they don't have the information they need in order to fast correctly.
And fasting is done. They're doing it based on what they've been taught as well. It goes back to what you were taught from small. You know what I mean? I grew up in a house, and and then eventually down the years they say, well, you don't have to fast every day for the whole 40 days, you could just do Wednesdays and some other day or some kind of thing like that. I just tune that out because my understanding of a fast is what you're describing. So if I am going on a fast, I am not going to consume anything between maybe 6 and 6.
Right, so it all depends on the time span that you have chosen to fast from.
Yeah.
Right, but the longer the fast, like for example autophagy and when it comes to human growth hormones, production and increase and all those things, usually those things start from after 12 hours of fasting. And so if you fast for 12 hours, you start to get some serious benefits if it's done correctly. And then you go on to 48-hour fasting. If you do a 48-hour, you have a human growth hormone increase of over 500%. And then you have brain-derived neurotrophic factor. All of that increase to help to preserve and even reduce degradation of the neurological pathways in the brain. So all these can facilitate healing and help the nerve endings in the body to heal as well. Right? But that's if it's done correctly. But most people don't do it correctly. And how we know most people don't do it correctly? Well, the high prevalence of the disease that surrounds us, it shows that the things that people are doing are not being done accurately, because we are doing it in a haphazard manner. That not much people are into actually researching things. And then you also have like what I just showed with the American Heart Association. They're putting out a lot of misinformation, that when people who do try to research now go and come across the wrong type of information, because we weren't taught on how to read research papers to know what is accurate and what isn't accurate, what should be taken with a pinch of salt and what should be accepted and shows to be conclusive. So because of all of that, many people are operating in a place of ignorance. Now this is why, this is the biblical saying, knowledge bringeth sorrow and wisdom much grief. Right? And then it also have that bliss, ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance, yeah.
The less you know, the happier you are. The more you know, right, the less happy you would be, because then you are able to see all the wrong things that are happening.
Yeah.
So for many people, I still prefer to know. I still prefer to know than to be ignorant and be blissful, because it also says, for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? Because I rather not be destroyed, I rather live and be sad, right?
Yeah.
Than to be happy and live a short, problematic life, because it would be problematic. You're going to have pain and discomfort and all these things to deal with, right? Because you don't know. Now, and that's what I offer. I re-educate people. I re-educate. Re-education is important. Most of the diseases that people suffer from are reversible, if not all of them are reversible. But we have been pushed and groomed in such a manner to believe that all these things cannot be reversed and you just have to manage them by taking a drug. It's like you get bitten from a venomous snake, right? So you have an injury from a snake poisoning, a snake bite, and your logic to treat that is to get bitten from another venomous snake. That is what medication is, That is what medication is. 99% of medications are derived from petrochemicals. So you wouldn't go to the gas station to take a drink at the gas station because petroleum is poisonous. But you would take it in medicines. Right? It's not making any sense to me. And we have accepted medication as a regular part of life. No creature in nature consumes medication. Right? But we make individuals believe that you're supposed to be on meds, and when you reach a certain age you need to be taking this and that and the other, right? And all of that is to facilitate the fact that people want to continue to eat nonsensical food that their digestive system isn't designed to consume, right? So take a medication for this, take a supplement for this, because you're eating stuff that blocks the body from getting those nutrients. So now you have to supplement it. And then the supplements now coming in doses that are too high for the body, that also now poisons the body. Right? So it's a perpetual cycle of the blind leading the blind, because you're consuming things that harm in your body and then consuming something to try to fight off what is harming your body that's also harming your body
as well,
right?
We almost out of time, but but I mean, it's that's part of the segment here, is to kind of educate or re-educate people. And of course you got the holistic health center, health clinic, where you give people the information once they book the consultation. And of course, you can book a consultation with Seth on 7611952 or 2793935. You can check out the Holistic Health Clinic. And I mean, he's dealing from cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune diseases. As a matter of fact, Seth, we have the run coming up on April 20th, so very soon we are throw diabetes in the mix again. I don't know what recent studies have popped up, but you know, we need to explain to people, you know, the serious nature of type 1 diabetes, you know, just diabetes on the whole. And you know, I mean, I'm looking forward to everybody coming out and supporting this run. If anything, to create a healthier lifestyle against diabetes. And Seth will be there. So if you want the opportunity to meet with Seth and talk to him one-on-one, there is no better place than April 28th at QRC. After the run and the fun walk, of course, you can always engage him there, and you guys can take it from there. But you know, thanks a lot on the issue of fasting, and fasting does heal the body as well. There are a lot of benefits to fasting. I mean,
so there's a lot of healing, but it can cause problems if it's not done.
If it's not done properly.
That's the thing.
So I'll tell you what, people, we got to wrap things up for today. But Seth, I want to thank you for joining us, and we will talk again very soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right,
See
nice
you
man.
all next week.
Yeah. Just to let people know.